Joined now by Adam McCalvy, does a tremendous job covering the Brew Crew for MLB.com. He joins us now. And Adam, great to see you. Thanks for being with us. Yep. Let's talk first about the tremendous effort from Brewers Woodruff last night. He was great. I love to see him healthy. He's such a good guy to root for. But that was his first career shutout. But how key is it moving forward to have a guy like that on the hill?
Absolutely key. And you mentioned the injury. He missed 4 months of the season with a shoulder injury, and he's about a month back in, and he's pitching better than ever. So the Brewers are very encouraged by what they have from Brandon Woodruff. And look, it's always context. And the Brewers' context is that the day before they were at Yankee Stadium, they took a no-hitter to the 11th inning and lost. And I think, for Brandon Woodruff to come right back a day after they suffer a really emotional defeat and also spend a lot of their bullpen bullets, to come out and cover all 9 innings was huge. And now they follow tonight with Freddie Peralta, as you said, who's the reigning National League Pitcher of the Month. So it's not too hard to see how the Brewers are trying to get this thing done. It's defense, second best defense by defensive run saved in baseball, and with this great starting pitching with the big three at the top.
But Adam, that's how you win championships. It's always about starting pitching. Obviously, you need a good bullpen, but you also have to have the gloves behind you making those defensive plays. And Chris Russo and I were having a conversation earlier about, I'm not so sure that you go up against the Los Angeles Dodgers and you don't win. Of course, obviously I love the Dodgers, but I like the Brewers pitching, and the Dodgers pitching is a bit questionable right now. How confident are you that, let's say those two teams do match up in the first round, how confident that you see Milwaukee moving forward?
Well, look, they are hoping to have their arms kind of lined up the way they want them if they get that opportunity. The problem for the Brewers is that just in real life, they've not fared well. They went 1-5 against the Dodgers and 0-6 or 1-5 against the Braves, but they lost both season series in very lopsided fashion against the National League's top 2 teams. So for the Brewers, it's can they hit? And they, look, every team is going to score more runs when they win than when they lose. I get that. The Brewers happen to have a wider disparity than most teams between their wins and losses. Last night they beat the Marlins 12-0. As I said the day before, they needed 1 run and they could have thrown a no-hitter at Yankee Stadium. And the on-off sort of inconsistencies of this offense is one of the issues that they've been kind of tangling with all season. The good news is that's getting going as well. Since the Brewers were at Alana Rizzo Field in LA last month, the Brewers are 15-6 over 21 games, and they're 5th in baseball in runs per game. So they're 1st in ERA in baseball over that span, which is great, but also sort of where they want to be. The 5th in runs scored per game over that span is really important, because when they give those pitchers just a little bit of support, they actually have a very good bullpen, even if it's not a lot of big names other than Devin Williams, the all-star. Score a couple of runs, and this team has a very good chance to win. So they would have to kind of reverse their season fortunes should they run into a team like the Dodgers in the postseason.
All right, Adam, if they're going to hit, though, they need Christian Yelich back in their lineup. What is his status as far as that lower back soreness?
Yeah, look, Alana, every year he has a stretch where he has a tight back. It's just an ongoing problem that they've done a really good job of managing this year. He had a run through June, July, and August where he was the Christian Yelich of old, the 2018, 2019 Christian Yelich. Then he went quiet again, and here comes the back issue. So it's sort of, it makes you wonder whether that's something he'd kind of been managing for a couple of weeks here. So he's down. He did a little running yesterday, but they are not going to rush him back because experience tells them that when you do that, it leads to something bad. So they're going to have to be careful and rely on other players. William Contreras, the catcher they picked up in the offseason, has been fantastic. Mark Canha, one of their trade deadline acquisitions, hit a leadoff homer yesterday. He's been really solid, getting on base, really long, proficient at bats. Since the Brewers picked him up, he's been important. And their shortstop, Willy Adames, is such a key to everything they do, like energy-wise, and also just getting big hits. And he had 3 extra base hits in the big win over the Marlins last night. And he's really important to keep him going because he's not had the year that he wanted to have. So he helped us out post-game then by translating for William Contreras. So pulling double duty yesterday for the Brewers.
Yeah, he also has 25 RBI in his 21-game stretch. So Willy Adames is playing very well, and it was great to see him get to meet Derek Jeter. Adam McCalvy, thank you so much for your help. We appreciate the insight as always.
All right. See you later, Lana.